It's the holiday season in the picturesque town of Perugia. But this season, the city famous for its chocolates has become infamous for something else. The murder conviction of Seattle student 22-year-old Amanda Knox and her former boyfriend, Raffaele Sollecito. Amanda's family had to fight its way through a media mob, but once inside could only watch as the lead judge read out the sentence. 26 years in prison for Knox, 25 for Sollecito.
When it came to the moment that they read the verdict, you don't speak Italian. How did you know that it was guilty?
I heard somebody in the gasping from the audience, you know, back where the public stood, and heard somebody say, no, no. Then I heard other people weeping back in the, you know, in the public area, and then I could see Amanda.
And what did she do when because she obviously does speak Italian and understood exactly what had just happened.
Yeah, she put her head down, and then she started to cry.
That must have been hard, Etta, to hear your daughter crying like that, just a few feet from you, and to be unable to put your arms around her.
Her lawyers were there, and they loved her, and they held her and took care of her, and they followed her out, so she wasn't alone.
This weekend, the family visited Amanda in prison. She's been moved to a new cell that will be her home for the foreseeable future.
I told her to be strong and that this would get fixed and she would come home, and just know that. It is going to get fixed.
Do you think she has faith in that?
Yes, yes. I mean, she has always been a glass half full. And I think she's going to move forward with a positive attitude, knowing that that light is at the end of the tunnel and she's not going to be left here.
It must be quite a moment to be able to leave that prison and to watch those doors close and those gates close and lock and know that she can't.
It's hard knowing that I get to walk out and see all the rest of Italy, all home, when she gets one view out of her single window.
For the past 2 years, Amanda Knox has been at the white-hot core of an international firestorm, labeled by the paparazzi as an icy killer, defended by supporters as an innocent victim of an overzealous prosecutor who presented scant evidence and a shifting motive. And now her conviction has ignited a new round of debate. Guilty, scream the Italian headlines. And for the victim, British student Meredith Kircher, the verdict is seen as vindication.
We are pleased with the decision, pleased that we've got a decision, but it's not a time, it's not a time for celebration.
But there's a very different reaction back in Seattle, where Amanda Knox grew up and would have graduated from college last spring. The senator from Knox's home state of Washington issued a statement saying the verdict raises serious questions about the Italian judicial system and whether anti-Americanism tainted the trial. She said she's going to talk with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who promised to look into it.
With respect to the case involving Amanda Knox, I stand ready to meet with anyone who wishes to discuss this case further.
Ted Simon is an American attorney who has defended Americans accused of crimes abroad.
The two systems seem to magnify the actual differences in the case. There are those in the United States that would say she wouldn't even be tried, let alone convicted. But yet, in Italy, people, as I understand it, are feeling we wouldn't put on trial someone who was not guilty. How dare you think we are unfair?
This is a small town, and it has a pretty avid and active press.
Nina Burley is a Time magazine correspondent who has covered the trial.
A lot of people think that this verdict has a lot to do with the power of the prosecutor, the power of the police in this town, and the fact that once the prosecutor charged, once they moved down this track, the jury and the judge in this case were very leery of stopping it.
The jury of 6 local residents and 2 judges reached its unanimous verdict after more than 11 hours of deliberations. Today, ABC News spoke to one of the jurors who called it an agonizing decision. Quote, "No one slept the night before, and I think we were all, judges included, in tears before the verdict was read. It was hard to envision Knox doing this, she said, but it is possible. We can all drink too much and then get in a car and drive. In Italy, as in the U.S., a jury is supposed to find guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. But our definition of reasonable may get lost in translation.
To me, it should have been unanimous to an innocent verdict based upon the whole concept of having a system that has reasonable doubt. And I thought we were so far past reasonable doubt that we were, going to be able to take her home.
What do you say to people who say, your sister was convicted of murder, she must have done it? They don't convict innocent people.
No, I tell people that they're ignorant. I have changed my views. I think I used to be one of those people. I honestly believed what I read in the newspaper was true. I don't get mad at those people who think that she's really guilty. I tell them that they should probably do their own investigating.
The Knox family has vowed to appeal, but that process could take years, and only 1 in 3 cases in Italy is reversed on appeal. Amanda's parents have already spent their life savings defending Amanda, but they will fight on.
She will get out of this. This is crap. It will be fixed.
She was telling us when we visited her that, what if they don't believe me? What if even in appeals they don't believe me because they didn't believe me this time?
This week, Kurt Knox and 3 of his 4 daughters will head home to Seattle. The seat on the airplane they bought for Amanda, empty. Amanda's mother plans to stay in Perugia through the end of the year and visit her daughter twice a week for the 1 hour allowed.
Your mom will be staying here instead of flying home, as she just put it. There are now 2
Empty
seats that will be empty that you had hoped would not be. Is that going to be a difficult trip home?
Yeah, just because I had my hopes set up so high that I would be able to sit right next to my sister, and we have to keep reminding her that you will get out, Amanda. The last thing I said to her was I put my hands on the outside of her face and said, you're going to come home.
For Nightline, I'm Elizabeth Vargas in Perugia, Italy.